Hello and welcome to Threefold Herbal Healing. I'm herbalist Leo Sade. I help people who struggle with chronic conditions grow their health from the roots up. So I wanted to talk a little bit about linden. It's one of the trees that are most impressive that I know. Like, I have a strong connection to linden. And that connection started years ago when I had a profound meeting with linden. I was at the International Herbal Symposium at Wheaton College, and we had this intensive 4-hour class of plant observation. The teacher decided to observe linden. So for 4 hours, we sat and observed linden. And let me tell you, this is a majestic tree. It's a very impressive being to be next to. If you really sit there and let yourself take in Linden. The main street in the town where I live in has a couple of linden trees, and every June they blossom. Now, if you know linden, it's all blossom at one time. So the entire thing is suddenly buzzing with bees. I pass by, I stop, I close my eyes, and I take in the fragrance of linden flowers, and I listen to the bees, and I smile to myself. I can actually feel the muscle in my body relax, let go. At the same time, people pass by the tree in a hurry, rushing to work or to run their errands. We are talking Main Street. And they really miss, they don't notice this gift that Linden is offering them. Linden through the edges of stress and connect people to the present moment. It is exactly for people that are absent-minded, that are on the go, and they can't take the time to stop and recognize it. So let's check out on Linden. The name is Linden. The botanical name is Tilia, and it was called also basswood or lime tree. Linden is a Malvacea or a Malva botanical family, member of the botanical family. That means that it is a cousin of hibiscus and marshmallow. I was very surprised when I found out about it because it doesn't look like a cousin of marshmallow or hibiscus. You know, hibiscus flowers and marshmallow flowers, you could see the association, but not with linden. So it's very interesting to watch that and to know what those flowers bring as a gift and see that linden works in the same realms. We will talk about it in a moment. It is considered a second-degree remedy, which means that it's not a first-degree remedy like food that you would fill a bowl with linden flowers and leaves and eat it with a spoon, but then it's a pretty safe plant to use in tea. Growing. Linden it can grow, it can thrive in US growing zone 3 to 7 in a full sun to partly shaded but moist place. It does like the soil well drained, but it also needs watering. It likes alkaline soil, which means that if you have a wood stove, that you hit your house with a wood stove and you have a lot of ashes, you can go spread them around a linden tree. But linden tree teach you about patience. That's how I would put it. If you plant a linden tree today, plan on flowers in 10, 15 years. It takes time. It's a slow grower. It's a beautiful tree. It's totally worth the investment. If you have a space in your garden it needs a lot of space. and it's a majestic tree. It's a beautiful tree to have, but it takes time for it to grow to its full size. History and lore. Linden was really celebrated in many cultures and mythologies all across Europe, including in Greek, the Celtic mythology, the Norse, the Germanic tribe, and the Hellenistic culture of Egypt. In Norse mythology, the linden tree is associated with the goddess of love and fertility, Freya, and with the goddess of love and marriage, Frigga. They probably were sisters. Later in history, the Roman Slavic region saw the linden tree as a symbol of stability. When you look at a linden trunk, it is so wide and so grounded and so strong, you understand why it was considered a symbol of stability. It was a symbol of stability in martial life. Therefore, newlyweds would decorate their homes with linden branches to keep away evil spirit that might cross the threshold and disrupt the harmony of the couple. In Celtic mythology, those born under the sign of linden tree were considered to embody the qualities of love, peace, and healing. Energetic. The taste of linden is sweet, so it already gives us a hint about what kind of healing it brings. It's anabolic and it's moistening. The temperature is cooling, fluid moistening, like I said, and the tone is relaxing. So it's a plant that is cooling, moistening, and relaxing. The tissue state of the people that you would use linden with is usually people that are in hot excitation, overstimulation that cause dryness, and that dryness and heat lead to tension, especially nervous tension. Actions. So we have foundational actions, and the foundational actions are associated with the energetic pattern of the plant, and they can be experienced viscerally in the body. So when you drink a linden tea, what would be your first impression? With linden, it's a demulcent, so it's rich with mucilage, and you immediately will feel moistening already in your mouth, but all over the body, moistening and soothing. It protects tissue. Primary actions relate to organs, system, or tissue. So they speak directly about what the plant is doing to organs, systems, and tissue. The primary action of linden are relaxing nervines. It helps to calm tension and irritability, not just physical, but also mental tension. It's anxiolytic, so again, calming this mental anxiety. It's antispasmodic, calming muscle, for muscle cramps, even seizures. It's hypotensive, so it can help reduce blood pressure. Vasodilator, it's dilate blood vessel, and that's again help reduce blood pressure. It's a demulcent, rich with mucilage, which soothe and protect tissue. And it's diaphoretic. It helps to promote perspiration or sweating, especially good for fever. So what are we talking about here? Like we say about energetic. The relaxing energetic is expressed in the relaxing nervine, mental and physical, antispasmodic, and hypotensive. Everything is stood down. That's true also for mental tension. So anxiolytic, vasodilator. And then it is also cooling. It has a demulcent and diaphoretic that helps reduce heat in the body. The secondary actions imply to an end result without telling us how we got there. What is the mechanism that brought us to those end results? And in Linden, we are talking about anti-inflammatory. Uh, Studies suggest and experience suggest that Linden is anti-inflammatory. We don't know how it works, we don't know why, but we know it does it. The organ affinity is mainly nervous system and cardiovascular system. So what I would use Linden always is for tension, mental tension, leading to heart symptoms like heart palpitation, high blood pressure, stuff like that. That's the organ affinity. So the next step is to talk about the clinical pattern, or when are we going to use Linden. But before we step into that, I wanted to remind ourselves that this video is for educational purposes, is for you to learn about Linden. It's not for you to take that as a recipe and try it at home. And if you do that, you're accountable. I am not proposing Linden for you unless I know you and I know your entire medical history, where your body is, and where you want to get it. For that, you can find me at www.threefoldherbalhealing.com. So let's talk about Linden and the nervous system. In Europe, linden flowers are commonly used in tea. I suggest linden flowers only in tea, either alone or in chamomile. Both are very pleasant and taste really good in tea, and both are calming. Linden sedate or reduce action in the nervous system through two pathways. First, it is rich with flavonoids. Those are water-soluble compounds that work as antioxidant. The second way is that it has beta-sitosterol, which is fat-soluble compounds that are kind of, they are like cholesterol, neighbors of cholesterol, but don't think cholesterol in a bad way. We actually need cholesterol for healthy brain, so put it there. This is healthy. So we are talking about Linden as suppressing seizures. And how does Linden do this? There is a compound that is called PTZ. I can't really pronounce the entire name. PTZ block GABA receptors in the brain and cause seizure. It increases oxidative stress. The flavonoids in linden are both GABAergic and antioxidant. As GABAergic, they can reduce excessive neuronal firing. I want just to explain what GABA is. GABA is inhibiting or reducing the volume. Like think about your radio. It reduces the volume of the firing in your brain, so you're not overwhelmed. So as a GABA generic, Linden increase GABA in the brain and increase the brain sensitivity to the GABA that is already there. As the antioxidant, it protects nerves from inflammation and the damage of the oxidative stress that is associated with the seizure. At least some of the sedative effect of linden come from beta-sitosterol, a fat-soluble compound similar to cholesterol that can cross cell membrane and directly affect the function of nerve cells and the receptivity of their membrane. By sedating central nervous system function, linden benefits people with several different conditions. So we are talking about stress and anxiety and hypervigilance. People that are highly excited, highly alert, hyper alert, and ruminate all the time. People that are PTSD after trauma, anxious, people that are wired, that are all the time kind of hypervigilance. But it also can help people that have problem with insomnia that is caused by either trouble falling asleep or disturbed sleep due to the inability to shut down the brain. Linden can help with falling asleep and staying asleep. Great medicine. But also Linden can help people with pain because if you have pain because of psychological tension, you hold muscles too hard, and over time it becomes pain. Think about neck that is held too tight, tension headaches, nerve pain, specifically in the face. Linden flavonoids were shown to have antisusceptive action, so they reduce the pain sensation in the brain. A study designed to investigate neuroprotective effect of tilia on cerebral ischemia induced damage in mice found that tilia increased survival rate, improved neurological deficient, and reduced the infract area compared with ischemic group. What basically it says that ischemia happens in the brain when there is stroke. What happens is that blood flow to some areas of the brain is disrupted, and those areas of the brain stop working because they don't get blood. And this is basically when a tissue don't get blood, it's ischemia. That's how we call it. Linden have neuroprotective effect. And therefore, people with stroke benefit from using tilia. Now let's talk about the cardiovascular system. Linden was traditionally used for reducing stress and anxiety when they lead to cardiovascular symptoms such as high blood pressure and heart palpitation. Modern research supports the use of Linden for cooling inflammation and reducing stress and tension-related excitation. Flavonoids are known to reduce the oxidative stress associated with inflammation and protect the cardiovascular system from LDL oxidation. So, what is LDL really? LDL is cholesterol that is put on a truck that is made out of protein and is delivered to all parts of the body because we need cholesterol for cell membrane, for brain matter, for hormones. We need cholesterol in the body. The LDL, the protein, is taking cholesterol from the liver and delivering it. In a usual body, no problem. You have that going and it's used. But when you have too much cholesterol in the body, the liver will try to send up all this cholesterol and your LDL will increase. The longer you have LDL in the blood, because it's not used, the body can't use all this LDL. The longer you have it in the blood, the higher the chances of this cholesterol, this fat, getting oxidized. When it's oxidized, then you start to have the oxidative stress and inflammation that cause heart disease. That's how it works. So Linden, the flavonoid in Linden specifically, can help reduce this oxidative stress that is associated with increased LDL and LDL oxidation. In an in vitro study, a flavonoid from tilia was effective as an antioxidant to reduce LDL oxidation as effectively as a pharmaceutical antioxidant lipid-lowering medication that is given to people with a profile of high LDL, high cholesterol, high triglyceride. In another study using both in vivo and in vitro, so we are talking about it's done in a lab on petri dish, but also on people. The same flavonoid was found to induce vasodilation. So it's dilated the arteries instead of this, they got larger. And by doing that, it's reduced blood pressure. But apparently, it's not the only things that Linden can do for you. We often think about Tilia as a medicine for the nervous system and the heart, but I found out that Linden has an immune stimulating and immune modulating effect too. The linden flower has been used for centuries to treat and release symptoms of common cold, throat irritation, and upper respiratory tract disturbances. Traditionally, the herb was administered orally and went through, the intestine's metabolism. A study found that linden flower increases the abundance of gut bacteria, specifically strains that produce short-chain fatty acid that modulate the immune system and inhibit the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines. So that's what linden can do for us. Take linden in, it will support your gut bacteria, not just any gut bacteria, but the one that actually produce the short chain fatty acid that modulate your immune system. So now you have less pro-inflammatory cytokines in your body. Basically, it works as anti-inflammatory. Polysaccharides from linden flowers are found to stimulate immune reaction in the small intestines, especially Pear's patch. So Pear patch is found in this third part of the small intestines, the part of the small intestines that connect the small intestines to the colon, just before the small intestines become the colon. And it's a place where there is a lot of lymphatic organs. And in that area, we have a lot of T cells. T cells are adaptive immune cells that actually are trained in the lymphatic vessels in Pear patch and in other lymphatic vessels. The polysaccharide of linden were found to work specifically on that area in the small intestines to increase T cell production and neutrophil and macrophages production. So T cells are adaptive immune cells. Neutrophil and macrophages are innate immune cells. The immune stimulating effect is specifically beneficial at the early stages of colds and flu. So if you feel like you're getting there, you're not there, but your body already still feel off, like maybe in your throat, maybe some muscle cramps, feel weak, that's the time to start with the linden tea. In the liver, a tincture of linden flowers show hepatoprotective effect against LPS-induced liver injury in mice. So what we're talking about here is basically non-alcoholic fatty liver. LPS is produced by strains of gut bacteria that are proliferating in people with obesity, people with diet high with simple sugars, simple carbs, people that eat a lot of pasta, pizza, baked good. And then they accumulate a lot of fat in their liver, and there is an increase in ALT and AST, which are liver enzyme, and you would see an increase of ALT and AST in their blood. So linden was shown to decrease those liver enzyme, protecting the liver. And even cancer. A tincture of linden flowers and live was found to reduce inflammation and oxidative stress and exhibit cytotoxicity against pancreatic cancer in vitro study. The anti-inflammatory effect of Tilia species rich in phenolic compound were supported by their strong capacity to reduce I, they inhibit basically inflammatory messenger and kind of killed cancer cells without killing healthy cells. So let's talk about safety. Generally, linden is safe. As with all herb, if you decide to use linden, start small amount, see how it feels. Don't jump on high mountain, don't jump to 5 cups of linden tea a day. That's not how you start a new tea. You want to really go slow and see how it feels your body and see that you don't develop any allergic reaction to it, and so on. In my website, you will find all of this with many more details and with recipes. So I invite you to hop there and find some recipes for teas for linden, because I use linden mostly with lemon balm, but with other herbs, and kind of how I manage to formulate with linden is in my website. So that is that. My website is www.threefoldherbalhealing.com. If you find that interesting and you need help, I do offer 15 minutes herbal consultation free for us to speak and see if in any way I can help you. You can find it in my website, www.threefoldherbalhealing.com, in the consult page. Make use of it because it's free. Thank you for listening and have a great day. Drink some tea.